Welcome to the worst sports channel on YouTube, Hot Garbage Sports with me, Coach Ryan D. Bruins, Capitals, fire, pure fire. Told you this division, this series was going to be freaking incredible. I am a North Division guy through and through because I'm a huge biased Jets fan. But like the Bruins and the Capitals, this is some of the best hockey going on in the NHL right now. Probably usurped only by the Battle of Florida between Tampa Bay and, well, Florida. Too bad those teams both play in Florida. It feels like a real waste that they're down there, doesn't it? Anyways, back to the Bruins and the Caps. Stick with us till the end of the video. We're going to talk about Brad Marchand. We're going to talk about Tom Wilson. We're going to talk about the perfection line. We're going to talk about the transition game, where this series is going. It's going to 7, baby. It is absolutely going to 7. I'll continue to give you my prediction game by game for who I think is going to win this. Let's break down some of the goals. Let's break down some of these penalties. I mean, my goodness, what a game. If you're fired up, I'm fired up. Let's roll the intro. Let's get to some hockey.
Here's Lemieux. The center penalty coming up. Look at Lemieux. Oh, my goodness.
First thing we need to talk about in this series is the amount of hitting that is involved. In today's NHL, hits are usually kept more under control, but we knew going into this series, Washington is one of the most, no, they're not one of the most, they're the most physical team in the NHL, period. However, today was an interesting game because they only ended up throwing 35 hits. And I told you in our East Division breakdown, by the way, link above, but I told you in our East Division breakdown that the Boston Bruins were tough and would take it. You can beat up the Bruins, but like a rubber band, they're just going to snap right back. Bergeron is tough as nails. If he's tough as nails, then Brad Marchand is tough as rebar. And if he's tough as rebar, don't even get me started on Charlie Coyle. Top to bottom, the Bruins are a tough team. I don't mean tough in terms of they're going to out-hit the Capitals. They're not. The Capitals are bigger. They're stronger in that sense. Tough in the sense that they will take hit after hit and they will continue going to the net. The Capitals cannot buy space by hitting the Bruins because the Bruins will just keep coming at them like a pack of rabid hyenas. That is Bruins hockey. It's why people hate the Boston Bruins. Hi, Leafs fans, because they don't quit. They don't stop. They just throw wave after wave of their own men at you.
Yes, I sent wave after wave of my own men at them until they reached their limit and shut down.
Was good, eh? Like, what a good clip, Killbots. Anyways, that's what they are. They're coached by Zap Granigan. They're a bunch of Killbots. They don't care who gets in their way. They don't care about their own health. I mean, we've talked about Patrice Bergeron winning a Stanley Cup with a punctured lung, broken rib. Unbelievable stuff. So this series is what legends are made of, but Boston takes this one and does exactly what the Bruins need to do. Split the series on the road, 1-1, 2 games back and forth in overtime. And again, that physicality was incredible. Have you ever seen more 4-on-4 hockey in your life? I thought the referees did a very good job in what is called playoff hockey. We'll talk about that, but we all know what playoff hockey is. We're putting the whistles away. We're going to let them scrum. We're going to let them beat each other up. Well, you know what? If you love playoff hockey, smash a like. If you like this channel, the Boston Bruins or the Washington Capitals, smash the subscribe. We're going to stay with it the whole way. And if you don't like playoff hockey, that means either you're not a huge hockey fan or today you're not a Washington Capitals fan because you saw Craig Anderson get mugged and that ended up costing you the game. But hey, live by the sword, die by the sword, baby. Throw everybody at the net. What's a crease? Stab away. We're wearing a Goon jersey because we may as well whack some teeth out of his face while we're at it, right? You're talking to American hockey fans and you think they know the movie Goon. Yeah, I do. That's all I got in this monologue. So let's go ahead. Let's get to some game clips. Let's break this down. Transition would be the key to this series. I told you that Boston is one of the tougher teams in the league. I told you that Washington plays in the offensive zone and the defensive zone better than anybody because they have endless talent and structure. But the transition game is what is going to win this game, and we can see it here on one of the first rushes in the game. The Boston Bruins player is going to lose his player because he is going to body check him. This is such a hate-filled series and a physical series. He ends up trying to rub out the Capitals player, which costs him time and space and ends up causing a 2-on-1, which Washington unfortunately can't bury. And if you're wondering why we aren't showing the full clip because you're new here, the NHL won't let us. We only get to use stills, so we have to talk you through it. And here you go. Here's that little bump, and that little bump is going to allow the Washington player to get time and space. It's going to allow that puck to feed through, and he's going to go in by himself. Tuuka Rask makes a huge save. This is just what Rask does. And what do I mean by this is what Rask does? He makes the saves he shouldn't make. He has a very good save percentage. Boston Bruins fans have already sent me all the save percentages. I hear it. I've heard it. I told you I think Rask is sketchy in the playoffs. He's always reminded me of Curtis Joseph. He is sketchy in the playoffs, so he makes saves he shouldn't make, and then all of a sudden he lets in crap goals that he shouldn't let in. He ends up coming somewhere towards the median because this game had so many shots. I mean, there were 40 shots on both sides. It was incredible, just peppering of goalies. But then he'll let in a soft one. So yes, he'll have very good stats. Yes, he's a good regular season goalie, but in the playoffs, can he win you a cup? I don't know. He hasn't done it yet. It was Tim Thomas last time. First goal of the game comes with Charlie Coyle absolutely undressing the Capitals here, busting in and around the net on a wraparound. But what we want to point out here is the fact that you have every single other Washington Capital gliding. They end up gliding. They have no idea where the Boston Bruins are. And again, this is that speed and transition of the Bruins where I said the Capitals would be vulnerable. They end up as the big body mongoloids that they are, not paying attention to where the rest of the Bruins are. Everybody gets caught puck watching Charlie Coyle, and watch what happens. This is what happens. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 Washington Capitals who get burnt by 2 Boston Bruins cutting in. Charlie Coyle's got the puck behind the net. He's going to feed it out. It's an empty freaking net. Guys, you got to tie up your man. How do you let him sneak through there? Well, whatever. 1-0 Bruins. Great goal. All right, goal number 1 by Washington comes by Alexander Ovechkin making a fantastic shot on the power play. Puck ends up moving from the right-hand side to the screen to the top, over to the grade 8. We've seen this 100 times in Ovechkin's career. We call this widening the zone. As soon as you can widen a zone like this and move it from right to left or east to west, you're in a very good opportunity to score a goal because you're crossing this invisible line in the middle of the ice called the Royal Road. Very hard for a goaltender to stop. But what really ends up causing this goal on the power play is the fact that the Bruins defenseman just hangs out here and does nothing. You have 2 Bruins who are not pressuring the puck. As soon as Alexander Ovechkin fumbles the puck, which he does here, he gets it caught in his skates, you need to pressure both players. If there is a puck fumble, you pressure. Not in today's NHL do you sit back and play a passive penalty kill. It is not going to help you keep pucks out of the net, so they play it passive. Ovechkin moves it in. 1-1 game. Mistake by Boston on the kill. Okay, goal number 2 for Boston. Perfection line. Pastrank ends up feeding it over to a late Patrice Bergeron who comes in. But the big key to this goal is what Brad Marchand does. Drives the net and it forces both defenders to back up. When you drive that mid lane, we talk about it. Drive the mid lane. Drive the mid lane. There's no way to defend it. When a player's driving the mid lane, you got to give him some credit. Ends up screening Craig Anderson. Bergeron puts a sick goal past them. And there it is there. Bergeron looking hockey card ready. Top cheese, right side, glove high. And then here you go. This is what I was talking about Tuuka Rask. Just a freaking floater that falls in. Pure dust. Moves through 5 guys, trickles in through the 5-hole pathetically through Tuuka Rask. You can always forgive this, but I'm telling you, Rask does this all the time. This isn't a mistake. This isn't uncommon. This is just Tuuka. He made one save that we showed at the beginning that was impossible and he shouldn't made. Then he lets in this junk. And you can say he's screened, whatever you want. It's trash goal. I don't care. Goalies come at me on it. Comment down below. This is junk. It is very hard to win a cup when stuff like this comes in because you made it 2-2 and so much harder on your team. It's almost better to just let in the goal that you're supposed to let in and keep these ones out because they're such a backbreaker, morale killer. And there you go. Just pathetically squeaks through his 5-hole and drops in. Junk, Rask, junk. All right, so the game's 2-2. We end up seeing a barrage of shots, scrums, battles all over the place. That's why I love this series. It's just everywhere. I don't even know if the refs know what they're calling. They're putting 2 guys in the box, hoping to calm it down, but letting the boys play. I thought the referees did a really, really good job today, just letting this game be super exciting. But Tom Wilson and Brad Marchand, we got to talk about them every game. It's agitator and scum versus agitator and scum. The big difference, though, between Wilson and Marchand, in my eyes, Marchand doesn't look to end careers. Wilson snaps, looks to end careers. We don't want to get back into the Tom Wilson hit, but if you do want to see it, link above. There's my opinion on the Tom Wilson hit. Tom Wilson, though, makes a very, very clean check on an unsuspecting Curtis Lazar. There is no charge. This is clean. And he just tells Curtis, you've been on the ice far too long, bud. Let me help you out there. Go get a drink of water. Here it is. You can see that big body of Tom Wilson coming. That is shoulder to shoulder, clean as clean can get. Couple frames later, it's time to get a change, big boy. Holy crap. What a friggin' hit. Yeah, if he wasn't such dust and there's such a cheap shot artist at other ends, I'd probably end up liking the guy. And he's even got scoring talent. Ugh, Wilson. But like I said, what makes Brad Marchand different than Tom Wilson? They're both skilled players. Marchand is, well, a lot more skilled than Wilson, but Wilson is not a bad hockey player. Brad Marchand is one of the most fun players to watch in the NHL. If you do not believe Marchand isn't one of the most fun players to watch, then you are either a Leafs fan or a Habs fan, someone that just hates the Boston Bruins, because this guy is freaking entertainment and amazing. He's tough. He'll fight you. He'll hit you. He'll hit you behind the play. He'll squirt a water bottle into your glove. He'll lick you. He'll kiss you. He won't try to end your career. I don't think so anyway, but he will absolutely get under your skin and make sure you know he's on the ice. And the worst part is you can hit him, you can punch him, you can cross-check him. He'll take it and he'll still go score a goal. Love me some Brad Marchand. He was a huge, huge part of the game today. Love when he wears the Team Canada gear. How do you feel about Brad Marchand? Let me know down below in the comments. Let him fire up. You don't like him? Let me hear it. And there it is. A little cross check, I think a bit below the waist. A bit below the waist. But it wasn't a punch to the back of the guy's neck or pile driving a guy on empty ice with no helmet. Still dirty though. Still love Brad Marchand though. All right, so what ends up putting this game away? Well, the game is 2-2 with 13 minutes left in the third. Washington obviously scores to go ahead 3-2 on a beautiful 2-on-1 goal. But what you don't see before that 2-on-1 goal is Boston over forechecking. I've talked about this again over and over on the channel. Sometimes you don't want to lay a hit. I get it's playoff hockey, but anybody that thinks you should always finish your check, I'm sorry, you're wrong. When you finish your check, you put yourself and another player out of position, and now you're playing 4-on-4. 4-on-4 is very dangerous when you don't have the puck, which it usually means when you're the one laying the hit. And the 4-on-4 ends up forcing Miller to step up and make a pinch. It was a bad pinch, but he had to step up and take it. Causes a 2-on-1. Almost lost Boston the game. But even though they were able to battle back through Rask, just atrocious goal, and this, I just don't think good forecheck or good decision-making, emotion got the best of them. Boston still ends up winning it. So let's go take a look at it. So here you go. You can see it. He is going to end up laying some bod, but that bod is going to keep him out of position. Puck is going to move up down the ice on a beautiful transition play. We talk about transition on this channel all the time. This is what is called playing with speed. Doesn't mean skating fast. It means moving the puck quickly. Washington is able to do this and put one in the back of the net. So you can see puck is down here. It's low. The Boston Bruins defenseman ends up stepping up and making a pinch. You cannot make this pinch, though, when you are Miller, because you have 1-2 Capitals here and your closest support is way too far away. You need to back up and play the 3-on-2 and wait for help. But he makes a terrible pinch on a 50-50 puck. So a hit and a bad pinch over aggressive play by two Bruins on this shift almost end up costing him the game. And here you go. Nothing says I'm out of position like a beautiful dive. Puck is here, 2-on-1. The two players behind us, they don't count in the 2-on-1. We're just counting 1, 2, 3 because they're behind the play. They're not in it. Puck is going to go across the ice. Puck is going to go in the back of the net. This is not on Tuuka Rask. Again, we talk about that Royal Road. Here it is. That puck crosses that Royal Road, that invisible line we talk about, and it ends up in the back of the net. This is the highest percentage scoring chance you have in hockey, even above a screen and jamming them. And then finally, the last goal in regulation, Taylor Hall tying it up with 2 minutes left with a scrum in front of the net. This was ridiculous. A clown show. I love this. This is playoff hockey. This is the most Boston Bruins goal you could ever get. Like, if this doesn't scream Bruins hockey, nothing does. There's 10 guys in the paint. Creases don't exist. Who cares? Puck is loose. Is it? I don't know if it was. I don't care. I'm cheering for Boston. I was happy to see the goal go in. Taylor Hall ends up scoring this goal, and I love television announcers. They make my day. We all make mistakes. I make way more than anybody else, but they say that Craig Anderson lost sight of the puck. You think? I think he was just trying to survive a scrum. They say Taylor Hall with a great individual effort. What individual effort? There's 10 guys in front of the freaking net. It was just well done by Taylor Hall. Well done by the Bruins. This is what they call playoff hockey. I think the whistle should be blown, but that's not how hockey works in the NHL. I'm not trying to change the way hockey works in the NHL. This goes both ways. Washington will end up doing this to Boston later on in the series. A goal will go in, and we end up tied. Boston Bruins style all day. And this is why people hate the Bruins. I don't blame them. Let's take a look at the clip. So here you go. The puck is here. It is under Craig Anderson. Again, I can't show you the moving clip. That sucks, but I've already tracked the puck. It's under Craig Anderson. Charlie McAvoy, like there's a Boston Bruins defenseman getting cross-checked by Sheary into Anderson. This ends up dislodging the puck, and Taylor Hall will come in here and bat the puck into the net. Absolutely hilarious. I don't know if Sheary actually pushed him in. I think McAvoy went in, but it looks like Sheary pushed him in. Either way, clown show in the best possible way. Playoff hockey, this is why we get ratings. Goal goes in 3-3, and we got back-to-back overtime in this series. And there it is. You can see pucks here where I've circled. Sheary and McAvoy have been pushed all the way across the net. We have 5 Capitals, 4 Bruins in the crease. The big question is, where's the other Bruin? Taylor Hall reaches in, puts it in. Craig Anderson can't even move. Hilarious. Absolutely the best game on the planet. All right, then we go to overtime, and what ends up happening in overtime? Talking about it, transition game. They end up widening the zone with a fantastic dump. It's called a hard dump. It ends up coming in all the way around, rims all the way around the far side of the ice. Boston player, this is a set play. He's going to pick up the puck. He's going to end up crossing it wide. Like, look at this. We're drawing everything on the screen. He ends up sending it wide over so the Boston Bruins can go ahead and put the puck back in the net. This crosses the Royal Road twice. Craig Anderson never had a chance. This is not on Anderson. So there it is. Like I said, the pucks come all the way around the boards. Boston ends up picking it up. Krejci ends up sending it cross ice. We get right across the Royal Road once. Fantastic play. Craig Anderson back here has to get into position. Puck is going to go all the way across the ice back to Brad Marchand. I mean, he had to change his position 3 times as a goaltender. You don't have a chance at this point. If he ends up saving it, it's just luck or unbelievable skill. But this is such a high percentage scoring chance. Boom. Game is over. And you can see it here. Puck ends up. It's where the circle is. It's moving all the way across that road again. Marchand is in perfect shooting position. That's going in the back of the net. And this series is 1-1. So I don't know about you guys, but this series has fired me up. It renews my love for hockey. This makes me so happy watching these types of games. If the Washington Capitals end up beating the Bruins, fantastic. I cannot wait for the next series. If the Bruins end up beating the Capitals, fantastic. We called Boston in 7. We are sticking with Boston in 7. We will see more transition goals. We will see more leaky Tuuka Rask. We will see more fights. We'll see Brad Marchand doing Marchand things. I expect Tom Wilson to get 10,000 suspensions in this, or at least take somebody's head off. We will see Alexander Ovechkin continuing to lay copious amounts of bod all over the ice. This has just been an electric first 2 games. If you're not already a hockey fan, you're going to be if you've just started tuning in to watch this. Whew, what a goal. I need a cigarette. That's the end of this one. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.